Welcome back to my purple kitchen. So the other day I did a live where I showed the ease of processing pumpkin. And I came across a happy accident where I take raw pumpkin, I freeze it. When you thaw it, it's already pre-softened. And then you can put it in the oven and roast it for maybe 45 minutes. And it caramelizes so much better than just doing it with the raw pumpkin. So anybody that follows Scully Pop, I'll put his information in the description and in the pinned comment at the end. I've been visiting Scully Pop's page, and he's on my page quite often in lives. And we were in a discussion on his the other day, and he likes that idea, but he likes sweet potatoes. And his question to me was, I wonder if that would work with sweet potatoes. Since his niche is not gardening and homesteading, mine is, we decided, hey, why don't I do it? So I have 2 organic sweet potatoes. Now, I've scrubbed these and scrubbed these and scrubbed these, wiped them down, let them air dry. They're organic, so people are like, well, there's nothing really on them then. Well, organic has a lot of meanings, but I'm not so worried so much about what was put on them at the farm. But these are in a big box store. So these get handled by hundreds and hundreds of people before they get purchased. So I just wanted to clean them because, people's hands. Anyways, so what I'm going to do today is just like the pumpkin, how I'd process that. I am not peeling this. What I am going to do is I'm going to cut it in half. If you know sweet potatoes, they're very, very hard. And so I'm going to take my time in parting this because I don't feel like, I don't know about you, but I'm not too psyched about going to the emergency room, But anyways, so there we have it. I love the smell of sweet potato. So I've cut it in half. I have my second one. This one, I'm not going to freeze. What I want to do a side-by-side comparison. So this one here will sit here for a couple days, probably Friday. And while you're there, I have my vacuum sealer all ready. I am going to vacuum seal it, each half. You'll hear it running here in a second. If you don't have a vacuum sealer, I recommend getting one. They're really good for long storage of food. So I have pasta, rice, oatmeal, milk, powdered milk. Things in the event of emergency, if you need to have a go bag and get out of Dodge because of a storm or whatever, an event, you're all set to go. So number 1 is sealed. So you can see the vacuum seal. Let me take the other one. And then my intentions Friday will be, I will do a video after they're thawed. I'm not going to show, I'm going to unseal them, unvacuum seal them, let them thaw. And then from that point, I'll show you this one that was not vacuum sealed. I'll have on one side. There it goes. Okay. I didn't get it in the vacuum slot properly, I guess. But anyways, so stay tuned for that. That'll probably run next week. Today, I think, is what, the 24th of September. So it'll run sometime next week. But I'll let Scully Pop know when it's going to be running. Okay, there it is. There's the second one. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll pop these in the freezer now. In 2 days, I'll remove them, and then I can do the test. And then I'll probably set the video as a premiere. And that way people can come on and talk about what happened. Hopefully Scully can make it. And then we can just have an online quick discussion while the video runs. So you all have a great day, and I will see you when we're ready to pop this in the oven. Take care. Well, welcome back everybody to Okies Eden, home of my purple kitchen. So this is the continuation, the next part of the test video to see if by freezing my sweet potato, can I increase the caramelization versus an unfrozen potato. So what I have here is, these have been frozen for a few days now. I have unsealed them, and I want to show you something. That's how much liquid has come out of the sweet potato from freezing. So I have both of them. I don't know. And the same thing, you can see the liquid, okay? Probably close to a teaspoon. And what happened was I did my pumpkin. When I froze the pumpkin, when I processed it, all I did was I took all of the seeds and the guts out of the pumpkin, cut it in 1-inch cubes, and then I placed it on my parchment paper so that it was face down. Kind of like so. So the skin is up. And then I roasted it at 375 degrees Fahrenheit. I think it was 45 minutes. And what happened was it super caramelized the flesh. So we were thinking that maybe we're onto something here. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my sweet potatoes, the ones that were frozen, and I'm patting them dry, getting off all of the excess water. And I want to show you something. So here's the sweet potato. Look at this. So see how squishy, and I can squeeze the liquid out. You see that? Okay. So this is very pliable right now. It's almost like a baked potato, like it's already been baked. This is not. This is still a regular old sweet potato. So what I did was, all I did was cut them in half, regular sweet potato, frozen, and then thawed sweet potato. So you can see a little bit of difference, okay? So I'm patting these dry. And then I have my oven over here preset. And the reason I'm doing both thawed, that was frozen and thawed, and just raw potato is I want to see if it does caramelize better being thawed than raw. The other thing I found is by simply freezing the vegetable. So I have not processed this. This is just frozen. This was frozen pumpkin. I'm putting that on this tray also because I want to caramelize some more pumpkin for my lunch later, since I have it. And so 375. So this was all the frozen and thawed, and then this is just raw. So this is going to go in the oven. And I think what I am finding is Because I have softened the flesh and removed much of the water from the sweet potato, regular potato, pumpkin, whatever, it cooks faster. So imagine this. I can go to the store. If this works, I can go to the store and I can buy 5, 6, 7 sweet potatoes, or next year I'll try to grow some. Then what I can do is simply freeze them. I can put them in a bag and then I can freeze them. And then each week when I want a baked sweet potato, instead of an hour and 15 minutes at 400 degrees, I can do a baked sweet potato at 375 for 25 minutes. I can cut my cook time in half. I can lower my temperature and it'll caramelize better. So this is the reason we're doing this, because we want to try this, because if that's the case, then I will get a bunch of sweet potatoes and freeze them, because I love sweet potatoes. And if I could cook one every day in 20 minutes, 30 minutes maybe, have it nice and caramelized, that's a lunch right there. So let's give this a try. Let's see where we're at. Let me come back in about 45 minutes and we'll take a look at everything. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the final part, the conclusion to the test on caramelizing the frozen sweet potato. I'm going to say yes, it is a success for a couple reasons. So Scully, here is the baked potato, sweet potato. After it just came out of the oven, so it's a little warm, but I can still pick them up. So you can see this camera's not picking up, but the caramelization, it smells really, really good. But what I wanted to show was the reason you don't see as much caramelization on that is because when I peeled it off the parchment, it peeled all the caramelization and bits you can see of sweet potato away. Oh, that's good. That's like caramel candy right there. It's crispy, crunchy. But look at that. Look at the steam coming off of that. But you can see the caramelization. These caramelized, the hard ones caramelized a little bit. But I would definitely call this a success. You can see it has browned all around here. But like I said, you see all this stuff here? That peeled up, okay? That peeled but look at that. That is so sweet. So here's the other thing. These that weren't frozen are still hard. These, when you cook the fork tender, these just pull right back out again. I can mash, you can see it. I can mash this right now. I'm mashing it. See that? See the steam. So to get it to that at 375 took about 40 minutes. At 375, the raw is probably going to take an hour and a half. So for this test, if you're ever going to do this, what I would recommend is change the temperature to 400. You'll be able to probably cut the temperature the time to 30 minutes. 400 will probably make it caramelize even more. You're talking a half an hour from potato to oven to have a baked sweet potato in 30 minutes. You can do that every single day if you like baked sweet potatoes. Otherwise, sweet potatoes do take longer than regular potatoes to bake. So you're talking an hour and 15 minutes at 400 degrees. You're cutting your time in half. You're still getting this great caramelization. It's fork tender within 20 minutes. So this is going to be my lunch. I'm excited about this. So yes. So here's the process as I would do it. I would go to the store, or if you grow them, wash them really, really well. Dry them with some paper towels and let them air dry for a little bit. If you don't have a vacuum sealer, don't worry about it. You got the double Ziploc bags, put it in there, roll it, push all the air out. It's not going to hurt it. And then what you do is, I cut it in half before I put it in, and then put it in the freezer bag and let it freeze for 2 days, 3 days. When you take it out and thaw it, it will already be soft. Pat it dry after it thaws, let it come up to room temperature, put it on a baking sheet with some parchment paper, or put it on a rack, put it in for 400 degrees for 40 minutes, and tell me what you think. So that concludes this one. So yes, freezing the sweet potato does help caramelize it, and it speeds up the cooking procedure. So you guys all have a great day.